Hey Divi Nation and future Divi Nation members. In this live stream, I'll be showing you how you can use the multi-step form for quote requests to the exclusive Cyber Monday artist layout pack. So the artist layout pack is one of the 6 exclusive layout packs that come along with our Cyber Monday deal of 25% off. If you become a member, upgrade your membership, or if you're already a lifetime member, you'll get all of the layout packs for free. So make sure that you check the link in the description below, which will lead you right to the deal. But be quick because this offer will expire soon. So without any further ado, let's get to it. All right. So the first thing I'm going to do is show you around in the artist layout pack. So there is a total of 5 different pages. We have a landing page, a studio page, a gallery page, an about page, and a contact page. So let's just go through the landing page. And then I'll also show you how you can create a multi-step form on the contact page, which I'll show you how it looks like in a minute. So this is the studio page. Then we have the gallery page. The about page. And last but not least, we have the contact page. And let me just show you quickly what the contact page looks like by default. And this is what it looks like. And we're going to show you how to add a multi-step form to it. And the result will look instead like this. So as you can see, there are multiple steps to this, and I'm just going to show you what it exactly looks like when you fill this out. So this is actually perfect for requesting a quote because you can add more steps to it and not just ask personal details, but for instance, you can also ask people to upload something, for instance, inspiration, and you'll just see that in a minute. So I'm just going to fill this one out. And then the next one, you can see that there's also these radio buttons here. And you can also choose to upload a file, which is great, especially if you're an artist, because a lot of people, know what they're looking for and usually already have some inspiration. So they can just upload that here, and that makes it a lot easier for you to estimate how much a project like that would cost. So in the final step is the delivery period. So you can also add a date here and an hour. So you can also choose which of the fields that you make required and which you just leave off as people want to. So and then you can just send the data and it'll display that it was a success. So if you want to recreate this multi-step form, the first thing that you will need to do is upload the plugin. So the plugin that we're going to use for this use case is the multi-step form plugin, and I've put a link in the description below that will lead you to the blog post. And in the blog post, you can get everything explained in detail, and you'll also get a link to this page where you can just go ahead and download the plugin. So I have already downloaded my plugin, but if you want to do the same, just click on download. All right, so then I'm just going to go to plugins, add new, click on upload plugin. I'll just go to my downloads folder and I'll select the zipped file. Install now. All right, and always make sure that you activate the plugin, of course. Right, so now I have a new item over here, and the first thing we're going to do with this plugin is change some settings. So I'm just going to go to settings over here. And there's also a multi-step form plus available, which allows you to do up to 10 steps. And with the free version, you can get 3 steps, which is, in my opinion, enough, because you don't want to add too many steps if you have an artist website, because you do want to, you know, let people go through them easily and not bother them with too many questions. So for the first two, I'm gonna leave these two enabled, and then I'm going to change the colors of my form, and you can do that yourself by just going to your website and selecting a color picker extension, or just looking for the colors manually. But I have already done that, and I've also mentioned the colors that I have chosen in the blog post, which you can find in the link in the description below. So I'm going to change this first color. All right. So this plugin is actually pretty good because it allows you to make certain modifications. They do not allow you to make all modifications, but they do cover many of them. So once I've done that, I'm just going to save the changes. And in the meantime, I'll take a look if there are some comments. So if you have questions, or if you can follow along clearly, just leave a comment in the comment section below, because I will be keeping an eye on those and I will be responding to them. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add a form, and I can do that easily by just going to add new over here. And then I can create different steps. So each step equals the step that you see over here. So for instance, this contact, I'm just going to refresh this. Okay, so we're going to start out by creating this contact one. And so I'm just going to add 3 steps right away, because we'll need 3 steps. And actually, if you want to save this multi-step form, you'll have to fill in certain things. For instance, this step title is mandatory, the step headline as well, and the section title is also mandatory. So I have to fill in all of these titles and headlines first, and afterwards I can save it. So I'm just going to do that first. And I'm just going to look back over here. So the first one is contact. And then then my section title is personal details. And the second one is products. I'll just have to fill this out so you can follow along. Okay, so the second one is product. And you can, instead of just giving it, you know, a small title, you can add a question to it. For instance, what are you looking for? All right. Classic. Next step is delivery. All right, so once I've done that, I've created all the basics for my form, and I can actually you know, save this. Okay. Actually, you do have to set some settings to the form, but we'll do that afterwards. So you can't save it yet, but you can edit it. So, and there's this one question on YouTube. I upgraded for Black Friday, but received nothing. You should receive, if you have a price that you claimed during your purchase, then you will receive these very soon. All right, so back to the use case. So the first thing I'm going to do is add the steps for the contact step, and that's going to be a name, an email address, and a company name. So the very nice thing about this plugin is that it allows you to drag and drop. So these are the elements that are available. So you have radio, checkbox, select and drop down, text field, text area, email, file upload, date, and paragraph. So for these two, I'm just going to add, so the first one was a name, so I'm going to add a text area, or just here, text area, and a label, so name, and then you can make it required. Next, I'll just try it again. Yeah, an email address. And the last thing was a company name. So that again is going to be either, it's actually going to be a text field. So I'm just going to remove this one. Yes, and use a text field instead. Name, and these are both required. And then company name will not be required. All right, so now I have my first step, which is into place, and then we can go over to the next step, and we're just going to take a look at what we need. Next step. So what are you looking for? So the first thing we're going to add are some radio buttons, radio label, and I'm just going to name it style. Then option 1, modern, and then I can add as many options as I want, but I'm just going to add 2. And classic. And you can also choose if you want to allow a multiple selection to it. Here you go. And I see that Christina has a question. I'm a lifetime member, but the link to the download gives me a page not exist. Well, usually this works. It actually always works, but you have to make sure that you are signed into your Elegant Themes account for that. All right, back to the use case. And if you are not an Elegant Themes member yet, or if you want to get this layout pack, make sure that you check the link in the description below, because it will lead you right to the Cyber Monday deal page. You get 25% off, and you get these free layout packs. And on top of that, there are also prizes that you can claim. So the next thing I'm going to add to this is the file upload and inspiration. You can also make this required, but that's not necessary. Or you can choose to allow multiple files. All right. So I'm just going to go to the next step, and that's the delivery period. And for this, I will need a date. So I'm just going to add a date and just give it the label date. And then I'm also going to add a text field again and choose hour. All right, so you can also make this required, but since this is a quote request, this isn't actually really a delivery or anything. This is an online order. This is more useful for artists who want to get to know more about the person who is filling out the contact form and who want to get more details about what they are looking for so they can approach them in a better way. All right. So now I have created all of these steps, as you can see. Let's just go over them once again. I have the first step, which is the contact step, and it has a name text field, an email address text field, an email address field, and a company name text field. So these two are required to get in touch. Then the next one is the product, and you can add as many elements to this as you want. I'm just trying to keep it simple and just give you an overview of what you can really do with it. So for instance, you can add a style to it. You know, people can select which style that they prefer. And a very nice thing about this plugin is that it allows you to upload files. So that's the second one. And the last one is the delivery. When do they expect to get the thing they are looking for, and I've added a day to that and also an hour. So okay, now I can go over to the next part, which is the form settings, and you can see it over here. That's the second tab. All right. And there are two things that you definitely have to fill in, and that's the send to and the subject. So every time somebody gets in touch with you, there will be an email that gets sent to you with all the data, but you have to choose your email over here. And I have tested this multiple times and it works. And all right, and you can also, another nice thing is you can also redirect users, not users, but visitors, to a thank you page. So I'm just going to click on save and it'll be saved. And if I go to my forms right now, I can see that I have this form and I will be needing this shortcut. So I'm just going to leave this open for now. All right, so if you want this layout pack, make sure that you check the link in the description below, which will lead you to the Cyber Monday deal page. And this layout pack, along with 5 other layout packs, will come for free. If you become a new member, upgrade your account, or if you're already a lifetime member, you can get these for free as well. Just check one of the links in the description below, and it will lead you right to it. All right, so the next step is making the change to our contact page. So of course you can also add this to your other pages as well. For instance, at the bottom of the landing page, but I'm just going to make this apply to the contact page. All right. So the first thing I'm going to do is enable the visual builder because I prefer seeing everything happen in real time. So let's just do that. I'm just going to start building. Okay, so I don't need this contact form. If I'm going to place a multi-step form on my contact page, I can naturally get rid of this. So I'm just going to delete it. Okay, and then I'll just clone these two over here, the image and the text module, and I'll place them in the second column because I want to maintain that same style throughout my whole contact page. And I'm going to give my title request a quote, and I'm also going to change the color. Again, you can find everything that is explained in the blog posts, which I have mentioned in the description below. Right, I'm just going to save that really quick. And then I'm going to add a text module because this text module will help me add my form through the shortcode that I've shown you in the previous part of this live stream. So I'm just going to keep this open, and I'm going to go back to my WordPress dashboard, and over here, the forms, I'll just copy this shortcode and paste it over here. Okay. So you can see the colors do not apply yet, but I'm just going to save it. And then I'll be going to the next step, which is also the last step. And I'm just going to add some additional CSS code because this form is something on its own. You cannot make modifications to it through the Divi Builder because it's a third-party plugin, of course. So I'm just going to add some CSS code to make it match a little bit better with my layout. And I've also added these CSS code lines to the posts that I have mentioned in the description below. Okay, so to do that, I'm just going to use the theme customizer. And just make sure that when you go to the theme customizer and you're still editing a page, that you save it and exit the visual builder. Otherwise, your changes could get lost. So I'm just going to go to the theme customizer. All right, and then I'll scroll down to the additional CSS option over here, and then I'm just going to paste the CSS code. And it will put everything into place. It'll remove some things that are not really necessary. So you can find this CSS code, as I mentioned before, in the blog post below. And if you really want to get your hands on this artist layout pack, it's a free layout pack along with 5 other exclusive layout packs that will disappear really soon if you don't take advantage of this offer by becoming a new member or upgrading your accounts through the link in the description below. So this is a Cyber Monday deal, and it comes along with 25% off on your purchase. All right, so I've added the CSS, I've added the contact form, and this is our final result. And as you can see, it's the same as the one that I've shown you in advance. So it's that simple. And if you want to go through it step by step, this video will be available afterwards as well. But you can also check the blog post in the description below. Well, that's all for this live stream. Thanks for tuning in. We hope that you enjoyed it, and we hope that you're enjoying all of the free layout packs that come along with our Cyber Monday 25% off deal. So be quick. If you're not a member already, or if you can upgrade your account, make sure that you check the link in the description below, which will lead you right to the page where you can make it happen and use these beautiful, stunning layout packs along with all of the use cases that we provide you with. Thanks for watching, and we hope to see you in our next live stream or video.